So now I'm just feeling pure anger because I'm like, yo, you had me waiting there. I was worried about you. Why didn't you pick up your phone? She's like, I ain't have service. I'm like, so you didn't see? Where did you think I was? I don't know anyone here. I have nothing here. As a guy, you were one of either two kinds of boys growing up. Either you were the kind of boy that punched holes in walls, or you were like, I don't know, a dude that grew up to be like a functioning member of society or some bullshit. I don't know. Listen, if you've watched my channel for any period of time, you would know that I definitely do not fall into the second category. Now, I definitely had anger issues as a kid, so I know I acted out in several ways, but I can remember 3 holes specifically that I punched. You know, the other kind of hole, who knows how much. The first hole, So I have a little sister. She's 2.5 years younger than me, and she's a very sweet girl, but trash at video games, bro. I mean, she's good at like girly games, you know, like The Sims, Fortnite. I'm kidding about the Fortnite thing. This one time my dad bought me Super Mario Bros. For the Wii, right? And there are only 2 things you need to know about this game. 1, it's Mario, so like that, and then 2, it had a 2-player mode where you could tackle the story mode with 2 different people playing at the same time, and it had this feature where if one character dies, the other one can bring him back to life by popping their bubble. When you die, you get put in a bubble, and then if both of you die, then you're fucked. So me being the loving big brother that I am, and also having a crippling inability to handle losing, I invited my sister to play the game with me to help me get through the story mode. So we're playing the game, right? And we're playing a very hard level. I can remember that. And we must have lost several times because my blood is starting to boil, right? So we're running through the level, and then I die, right? So I'm in the bubble. And my sister had like the big Luigi, you know, like she had eaten a mushroom. So she's running around. So I'm like, hey, yo, no pressure, no rush, but when you get a chance, yo, let a nigga out of this bubble, right? I knew she wasn't gonna last long. And of course, she gets hurt, right? So now she's the little Luigi, right? So now I'm like, yo, all right, get me out of this bubble. We about to lose, yo. And my poor baby sister, she was like 10 or 11 at the time, right? With the weight of the world on her shoulders. And then it happens. She dies. Bro, she dies, she gets in the bubble, and then she doesn't even look at me. Because she knows she can't. She shouldn't. It would be bad. I was like angry, bro. And my sister is not like having a good time, you know, like she's doing this just to spend time with me. Like she didn't even like Mario, nigga, but she took it so seriously because it was important to me that we beat this fucking game. I get up and I'm shaking, and then I just punch the fucking door. Now the door was made of wood, and it was also hollow, so like my hand just went straight through that shit, you know? So I punched through the door. Instant regret, because my mother is still Jamaican, nigga. Like she's definitely gonna come home and murder me and break my weed. So I'm like, fuck, right? My sister looks at me, is like, nigga, you go die. So now I'm just sitting there, still mad that we lost, by the way, but also scared because death is approaching. And then what I think I did is I found like a picture or a poster, and then I just like taped it up on my door, you feel me? Because I didn't punch all the way through the door. And I think that worked for like a while. I don't remember getting in trouble that day. My sister has a YouTube channel, by the way, where she tells this story. That's what inspired this video. So I'm gonna put the link in the description. You can check it out if you want. The second hole was also because of my sister. This was a lot later though. I was like 22. YouTube had just taken off, so I was moving out of my friend's house in San Diego, and I was gonna get my own place in Austin, Texas. And in that in-between period, I stayed in New York with my dad, which is where my sister lives. So I'm in New York, crashing it on the couch, you know, because it was super last minute. And right before I left San Diego, I had gotten in the relationship with that girl, you know, the girl from the Friend I Betrayed story. Yeah, that girl. It was super rushed, got in a relationship with her. After like a month of dating, bro. I get to New York, you know, and now that I had some distance from her, you know, because when you're in it, you know, it's all like, you know, sunshine and roses and flowers and fucking, you know, good feelings. But once I was able to like get away from her physically, I could look at the decision and I was like, this was not the best decision. Wasn't quite ready to break up. I was getting there. We were arguing a lot and I was just on edge. You feel me? Also sleeping on the couch didn't help. All this while trying to find a place to live in Austin, Texas, which, by the way, was a place I had never been before. So I was stressed, right? So one day, right, my sister was still in the middle of the winter school semester and she needed me to take her down to the college so she could drop something off for her professor. So I dropped her off in front of the art department, but the way how the road was set up, it was like a one-way and it was also like a one-lane street. So I ended up blocking traffic. So what I would do is just drive around the campus and then pull back up in front of the art department. I did this like 5 times because every time I came there, she wasn't outside and I kept blocking traffic. So I had to just keep going around, coming back, sitting, waiting, going around, coming back, sitting, waiting, and she's not coming out. So I'm like, yo, where is she? So it's been like 15 minutes since I've dropped her off. So I go and find a parking lot. I sit in the parking spot and I'm calling her because I'm starting to get a little worried. You know, she was just supposed to go in, drop some off, come back. So I'm calling, it's going straight to voicemail. So now I'm in big bro mode, okay? All right, I'm getting nervous. I don't like it. It's dark, winter time, 7 o'clock in New York. I need to protect her, right? I need to find her, and then I need to protect her. That's just instincts right there. But my sister isn't soft, you feel me? And she had been living in New York for a while, so she had gotten that New York grit, you know, that New Yorkers have. So part of me is worried, but then the other part of me is upset because there's a part of me that has this feeling that my sister is fine and she left. She just left some other way. It didn't make sense, so I was still mostly worried, but part of me was like starting to get suspicious. After like 45 minutes of sitting at this campus waiting for this girl to come back, I was like, fuck it, I'm going home. I called my dad to see if he's heard from her. He's not picking up. So I'm like, I'm gonna go home and figure this out. I get back to my dad's house, and as I go inside, guess who I see just chilling at the dinner table? My sister. So I'm like, yo, what's good? Where you been? She looks at me and is like, what you mean where I've been? I've been here, obviously. You hear that attitude? This wasn't my cute little baby sister that I played Super Mario Bros. With anymore, you feel me? This was now a fully grown, young, black woman from New York. Have you ever met a girl from New York? Bro, they're so mean. I don't know, they're just so mean. I hear this attitude and all the worry that I had left over turned into anger. So now I'm just feeling pure anger because I'm like, yo, you had me waiting there. I was worried about you. Why didn't you pick up your phone? She's like, I ain't have service. I'm like, so you didn't see? Where did you think I was? I don't know anyone here. I have nothing here. I left the house because of you. You're home. I'm not home. What you thought was happening? She's like, my boyfriend picked me up. I don't see what the problem is. So then I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I go down into the basement, which is where I had my computer set up, and then I was like, I'm gonna just work through it, right? And then I get a text from old girl back in California on some bullshit. I don't remember what she said, so now my blood is at like 11. And then I hear my sister upstairs talking shit about me to like her girlfriend. She's like, yeah, and then he came in and was all like mad, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is his problem. So now I'm shaking, bro. Like I'm like, I'm gonna kill somebody. I'm going to murder my sister tonight. And I was just like so angry. So I just got up and then I just punched the fucking I punched the wall. I punched another hole in the wall. And instant regret because my dad's Jamaican and I was like, oh, he's definitely gonna come home and murder me. And back when my YouTube channel just started taking off, I was doing these like poster giveaways and I had some, so I just I did the same thing I did when I was 13, nigga. I took a poster. My dad probably doesn't even know this poster is still on that wall. I've been back since then. It's still there. I took a poster and I just put it over the hole. So Dad, if you're watching this right now, just don't take that poster down, you feel me? The last hole was not because of my sister. No, this hole was caused by my ex, who had flown from California to Austin, Texas to visit me. But that's a story for another time.
Donald, am I talking to myself? I gotta get the stuff off the bigger truck to put it on the smaller truck to give to you.
Yeah, but I don't see why I'm the one that has to...
Donald. I'm just a truck driver.
So I just made a move from Austin, Texas to Los Angeles, California. And I've moved around a lot in my life. I think